road position in there. I know you're on a little bike, but that's when car drivers take advantage. Even if you're only going 30, sit right in that middle of the lane, because then you don't get idiots trying to overtake you quickly and then pushing you into the curb. Little top tip for you little bike riders out there: be dominant in your lane, own that lane. You're welcome. No, you don't need to come over. You don't need to come over. It don't matter. The bus lane's not in use, mate. Oh dear. Now he's coming in the bus. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Hey ho. Oh dear, just another day on the roads of London. Yeah, so I just got my motorbike back from a service. Filters, plugs, oils, all that sort of blubber. Here he is. Nice bike. So yeah, I just got mine back from a full service. I had to get a new chain and sprocket kit as well, so that'll set me back a pretty penny. But I'm impressed with the guys I used. I've never used them before. I'm new to High Barnet, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I just kind of wanted something that would get the job done for a reasonably okay price. And I made a couple of phone calls using Google, whatever it is, or garages near me, and it gave me a couple of options, and for some reason I clicked on one, but it gave me the telephone number for a totally different one in Finchley. So anyway, I do feel guilty, but I called this bloke up that it gave me the telephone number for. I booked it in for the following day, told him what bike reg it was and blah blah blah, and he ordered the sprocket kit in for me. And I was like, okay, cool, no worries, see you tomorrow at 9:15. Anyway, I thought I was on the phone to a garage that was around the corner from me. So I rode the bike around the corner, put it into the garage, told him what it was. I was like, yeah, I mentioned it over the phone yesterday, I booked it in, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh right, okay, cool. What was it again? I was like, oh, service and sprocket kit. And then I'd like you to look at something else for me just to make sure that's okay. And then I was walking down the road, I was like, I don't think those chaps were expecting my bike. So I quickly made a phone call and I was like, actually no, I went onto my previous phone call list, Googled the number that I called before, and it turns out to be a totally different garage to what I took it to. And then I called the guys I use who's Bike Stroke in New Barnet, I think it's called, and I was like, yeah guys, I just dropped my SV off, was you expecting it by any chance? And no, they weren't. And I was deeply impressed by their service, because I dropped it off, and then when did I drop it off? I dropped it off about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. No, at night? What am I talking about? 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. They weren't expecting it at all. They managed to get a full service in there. They had a little look at the wiring for me, which I was a bit here and there about. And they ordered a sprocket kit in for me, special one-day delivery. They fitted the sprocket kit, and then they called me up, and then I was like, yeah cool, your bike's ready. And I just absolutely was not expecting it, and I'm deeply impressed with them, very impressed. Good bunch of lads, and they was honest. And that's what I was like, we just looking at it, we can't find anything wrong with the wiring, with the indicator wiring, but depending on your budget will depend on how deep you want us to go. And I was like, oh, well, it's not an immediate issue with the bike and it's not affecting the bike or anything like that, I don't see a problem with it. It should be fine. So the good chance they didn't touch it, and it came to a very good price, and I'm very happy with them, and I'm using them again in the future. Definitely using them again. So they were Bike Strobe in New Barnet. Apparently it's up for sale or something. That'd be a nice investment if someone could utilise the space in the building into something amazing, like a good theatre. Something along those lines would be pretty cool. Beefy Jeep has got going there. All this traffic is caused by blokes in vans doing this. Get into the lane sooner and then you won't block off every other vehicle. See, on my bike, I'm nice and little, I can slip in and disappear in the cracks. You're a truck, you can't. Stop. Limo, 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 limo. The Hummer limo. Oh, he's fucking he's scuffed up the side. Ouch. I've got a good life lesson for you guys. A good thing to live by when talking or dealing with people. I learnt it at college. It's so simple. It is so simple, and it can prevent situations from happening and de-escalate problems before they even become problems. You'll see in all of my interaction videos with other people, it's the other person that's angry, and I'm not retaliating, and I'm not going to their level. And there's this thing called Batari's box. So I'll go through the whole of Batari's box. So your attitude affects your behaviour, which will then affect their attitude, and it affects their behaviour. Now, in 99% of the videos that you have seen and you will see of me interacting and talking to other people, I'm always very calm and collected, unless I get red mist and I get angry, but that doesn't usually happen. I try to keep that to a minimum, and I'm always very calm because you don't put out a fire by pouring more petrol on it. I think that's the best way of going about it. And you can't make someone shut up by shouting at them and getting in their face, because that's only going to make them get more hyped up about you shouting, and they're going to shout louder, then you're going to shout louder, and it's not going to solve anything. So if you're just talking to them and they start shouting, you like the guy in the road rage video, I was like, yeah, and I let him vent all his frustrations out. I wasn't giving him anything to react on. I wasn't given anything to bite back at. I know you're there, mate. It looks like you've lost your exhaust. That is noisy. It's really noisy. That's like a stroke pipe. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't giving him anything to get angry over. And from the start of the video you see him very, very angry, and then just before he pulls in front of me, when he's talking to me, he stops shouting and he's just got a cocky attitude on him, and he thinks it's a dog's bollocks. But because I wasn't actually giving him anything, oh, what is this guy doing? What an idiot. Why are you playing on your phone? You're a wanker. So anyway, yeah, without faffling on about what I'm talking about and going round in circles, the Taurus box is your attitude affects your behaviour, which affects their attitude, which affects their behaviour. If you're sat there shouting in someone's face, their behaviour is not going to de-escalate, it's going to escalate, and it's going to get worse, and then your behaviour will get worse because they're getting worse. So the best way to go about it, stay at a level, stay calm, try and stay relaxed, because as big as your balls are and hard as your ego is, a knife is sharper than your skin, bullets will break your bones, and I'm pretty sure a big metal steel pole is stronger than your skull. And you don't know what they've got, and they don't know what you've got, but you don't want to find out what they've got when you wake up after 2 years in a coma. That's just a life lesson. It don't matter how hard you are, how big you think you are, how tough you are. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. But on that note, be happy and have a great day.